Welcome to Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Well, I've rushed up here after work. I'm going to wolf this down and then get started on some more important stuff. This time, the bathroom. I'm working out the positions for the three switches I need in here, which are for the toilet fan, the whale gulper and the water pump. The water pump pretty much stays on anyway, but it needs to have a switch. But the whale gulper and the toilet fan are often used. And I'm thinking the whale gulper ideally needs to be accessed from the shower, because then the way I'm using the shower is you don't want the whale gulper on all the time. Even though it can run dry, you don't want it on all the time. So I'm thinking, because I cleverly designed this so I can get my hand through here from the shower to either adjust the ventilation in the room or indeed to turn on the whale gulper. So I'm going to put it here, and it just so happens, through sheer luck, there's a little area around the back here, a recess where I can tuck in the conduit. So I'm going to I'll make up a little box and put the three switches in there. And before you ask, I have checked the height and the children will be able to reach it. This is what I've made up so far, so just quite straightforward, quite a simple little thing, and it's going to sit on that side there at that height. And obviously the top one will be for the whale gulper, because that'll be the one you'll need to access from the shower. So it kind of tucks away quite nicely, but it's visible enough that you can see the switches. Even though I can't imagine I'll be very far from a guest if they're ever in need of a switch, but there they are. For the toilet fan, it comes with this connector here, which is quite nice. So I'm going to keep that on, just disconnect it there, and I'll cut that cable there and attach it with the switch in. Ooh, this is turned up. Fragile. I think this has got cowl written all over it. That's actually pretty nice. Quite happy with that. And the main test is from the shower. But yeah, piece of cake. So that's good. I now just need to, I've put in some conduit, some trunking here. I'm going to run those cables down through the back there and into the fuse box. Then I need to go about making the backing for the toilet and a kind of shelf thing here, which is going to come up to that level there. But before I do that, I need to just make sure I've got all of the trunking and wires and everything like that going into the bedroom, because once that's on, it's going to be harder to access in there. Right, so the wiring is all complete, although it's not all pinned in place yet, but everything's been labelled up. So I've got the pump, the whale gulper and the toilet fan going to those three switches there. That's the gulper, that's the water pump, and that's the toilet fan. So if I turn them on, we should hear something. That's the water pump. Let's see if the toilet fan turns on. Ah, no fuses. Okay, fuses are in. So let's see if this works now. Toilet fan. Oh, that's the water. Toilet fan, yes. Whale gulper, it's just going to make a noise. Happy days. Toilet fan's off. Well, that's the electrics in the bathroom pretty much complete. Now I've just got to box it all in. The next bit I'm trying to work out is the toilet position. Ideally, I want all of that gubbins inside the cabinet. So therefore the back of that is against this back wall here. So I'm just trying to work out how I can actually attach the fan in place if there's a wall there. I think I can do it. In which case I'm going to put a batten along the floor at 200mm coming out against the wall, batten on the side there, put a board in, and then cut a hole in it and see if I can offer it up. I think that would be the plan. Right, what have I been sent to stone? Oh, cherry bakewell. Oh, I love a cherry bakewell. Raspberry and white chocolate. Yeah, they're good. Had them. Salted caramel, had them, they're good. Carol knows I like them. Bottle of slow gin. Another bottle of slow gin. Oh, there's another box in there as well. Another bottle of slow gin. And last but no means least, oh, Palace of Holyrood House. I bet that's nice. Buckingham Palace Scotch. Happy days. I've got a board in place and it's coming up to the same height as that one there, that batten at the back, which is dictated by where the whale gulper feed outlet comes from. The problem is if I do that, it kind of blocks in quite a lot of the space. I'm thinking now just to cut this down to that height there, let it go back to make a nice kind of shelf area, and then another kind of higher shelf behind it maybe. It's all got to come out because I've got to put the wash hand basin in here. But I'm just going to get it all built, I think, to begin with. So yeah, cut that down. Well, actually I use a different board. I'll use that for the top. Yeah, see, that's looking better. I think it needs to come down a bit further though, so it's just a little bit above there, and then I can have a little shelf or something like that across there. I've trimmed the top of that now. I've put in some battens down the sides, and I've marked out the hole that I need to cut around there so I can attach the toilet gubbins when the toilet's been put in place. That's the next plan, and then afterwards I'm going to build a shelf to go on there, and then I'm going to have to go about boxing that bit in there, so this will all be kind of boxed in. Well, that bit won't, that'll be painted, but all that'll be painted and boxed in somehow there. On this board I'm going to have to give myself quite a lot of vertical kind of tolerance, because to manoeuvre the toilet in place you're going to kind of shimmy it up a little bit. So this one here, instead of being a square for like the actual fitting, I'm going to do a kind of a big oval shape. So there we go. A little bit rough, but you're not going to see it. There's the fan on. It's important to make sure you get the fan the right way around. You want it on suck as opposed to blow. And there we have it with the toilet in place. That's nice. It's kind of nice and flush against both edges. There's a bit of room along that side for the pipe to go for the wash hand basin. So now I'm just going to make the top to go over there. Well, Carol, apart from the fact it needs to be hoovered out again with all the bloody sawdust, your sloe gin looks really nice in these little lockers. Thank you. Thank you very much. The next bit I need to cut out is the awkward shaped top for this thing. Right, that's what it's looking like at the moment with the top on it. Obviously I've got to sand it down and paint it and stuff. The top flips up so I'm able to access the bits and pieces behind it. I'm going to put a backing to it and cover in that bit there. This area here, I'm going to build, or just make a door basically, which just, it's not easy to access that with hinges or anything. So I'm just going to have a panel which just clips in with a magnet quite easily, and it will cover the top bit as well, so it'll sit inside like that one does. And that's it. The toilet is installed. Just got to take it out now and give it a paint. Actually, I might do that tomorrow because I'm getting attacked by Daddy Longlegs. I know this isn't technically on the list of things to do, but I've done quite a bit in the bathroom this evening, so I feel like I can do a more pleasant task. And this is, in fairness, part of the solar install which is happening this week, so it's not a complete lost cause. I had it in my mind that I was going to do this ages ago. I just haven't got around to doing it like so many other things. But obviously once the panels are on, you can't really do this. I've keyed it up so it kind of takes it nicely. And the only bits I'm not doing is the underneath, because obviously that's going to be Sikaflex to the roof. So I'm not going to want any paint on that. But the rest of it is all done. I was going to do the edges in a different colour, but I still might, to be honest, just to bring them out a bit. Yeah, nice. It took ages today to do the final electrics in the bathroom. I had to get all the those switches in place, but I'm glad I did it. It works really well and looks pretty good. I'll paint it all, well, probably tomorrow. I'm going to go back to London now because I've got meetings in London tomorrow. And then I'll be back here tomorrow, and I will be doing probably more in the bathroom and a bit of the bed. Yeah, that's the other thing I need to kind of get cracking on. You'll all be relieved to know that gangplank has been added to the essentials. I think I'm going to use 2 bits of scaff board. I think, yeah, the what's his name, Lee, who did that really nice paint job on his boat here a few months ago, he did his gangplanks with 2 scaff boards with a few kind of braces. He did them in the same colour as his boat, and he didn't use chicken wire on it. He used sand. He used sand and grit, but it looked absolutely amazing. So I think that's going to be the plan with the gangplank. In terms of side fenders, I'm going to use thin kind of car tyres or something like that. I might paint them up, but and then kind of drill holes in them and stuff like that. So that'll be the plan for that. But yeah, obviously loads of other stuff to crack on with. I haven't tidied up in here, which I still really need to do. It's an absolute state, and I think I might get some visitors tomorrow. So I'm going to crack on with tidying up now. One last thing. The reason why on the electric in the bathroom I didn't use the switches with the little LEDs, which I said I was going to for the ones like for the air thing for the toilet where you can't kind of hear it's on, but I've been reading about them, the LED warning light on them quite often goes. So if you're relying on the warning light and the warning light breaks, then you become reliant on something which is by definition unreliable. So I've done away with that. I'm just using switches, so it just becomes part of my routine to make sure that all the switches are kind of either on or off depending on what they are. Yeah, a bit more electrics to be done tomorrow as well in the cupboard down there. I've got to put in the final speaker down there as well. I'm not going to put it underneath the oven like I thought I was going to. I'm going to put it in the electrics cupboard, right at the bottom. It's miles away from anywhere, so I know it's got a magnet in it and stuff, but it's miles away from anything else. So that's the plan. I think if the weather's okay, Paul might be coming around tomorrow to do some welding for the battery box. I've got some phenolic ply for the secondary battery box. I'm picking up that tomorrow, and then I can build the other battery box then. So yeah, loads to crack on with. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.